Hello. Thank you all for your patience. Thank you all for coming. I'm Michael Ellsworth of Civilization. These are my partners, Corey Gutch and Gabriel Stromberg. I really want to start by really sincerely thanking all of you for just this continuous support and energy that's around the series. It really just, we're so grateful. You set your alarms to get tickets. You don't get tickets. You wait in lines, you carry these heavy tote bags. I just really thank you. Thank you so much. And tonight we are so honored to have the one and only Kenya Hara come to our city. Kenya is such an inspiration to not only designers, but I think humanity. He's an amazing human being, and he has attracted a great crowd tonight. We have some of the city's finest in all areas, in all genres. And we have people up and down the coast. We have people from Vancouver, Portland, LA, San Francisco, and even a few from New York. So thank you for traveling. And I especially am thrilled to have Joseph Becker in the audience. Joseph is the Assistant Curator of Architecture and Design at the SF MoMA. And I'm proud to say that the SF MoMA recently acquired the Design Lecture Series promotional materials for their permanent collection. And none of that would have been possible without the support from all of you. So thank you for helping make our dreams come true. So I'm going to turn it over to partner Corey.
Okay, so yeah, then another major reason we're able to continue these events is because of our generous sponsors and partners. A little short list of those include MailChimp, ReachNow, the Office of Arts and Culture, Design Within Reach, the Seattle Public Library, Printing Control, Color Plan, Legion Paper, and Marjorie Restaurant, which is one of our favorite restaurants. We're also joined by our friends at Moleskine tonight, and you'll find our recent collaboration with them in the tote bag, which we're really excited about. And then our media sponsors include Gray, Arcade, City Arts, and NPR. All of our sponsors are actually in that program list, or the list is in the program that you have in your bags. They're really instrumental in making sure that this series remains free for everyone to attend. The lecture is also being live streamed on Design Lectures, designlecture.es, our site, thanks to Bootstrapper Studios, and an archive will be available to view after the lecture shortly after. Following Kenya's lecture tonight, we have a Q&A which will be opened up via Twitter. Those of you who have been here before are familiar with that. So please tweet your questions for Kenya and our moderator, Fumi Watanabe James, with the hashtag Design Lectures. And after the Q&A, Peter Miller will be selling some of Kenya's books. And so we've rattled off a lot of names so far in this introduction tonight, but it's because these are all some really cool people that everyone can hang out with tonight after the Q&A and after the whole event at Hotel 1000. We're having an after party there, and Design Within Reach is providing 100 glasses of free champagne. So you have really no excuse not to go. So, and with that, over to Gabriel.
Tonight's distinguished guest is a world-renowned designer, curator, educator, author. He has created groundbreaking design solutions for countless globally recognized companies and organizations, like the French luxury brand Kenzo, the '98 Winter Olympics, and of course, the Japanese lifestyle brand Muji, for which he has served as art director and advisor since 2002. If you look through your program tonight, you'll see that the image that we chose of our guest tonight shows him doing what he does best, and that's thinking. And it's the role of design thinker for which he is probably most well known, and through which he has made the greatest impact. Throughout his career, he has adhered to a singular design approach, one which focuses on inquiry and investigation, one that champions thinking and rethinking and reimagining for the quest of uncovering new ways of seeing. This approach serves as the backbone of his curriculum as professor at Musashino Art University in Western Tokyo, and the application of this approach through his client work, his student collaborations, and his design exhibitions. This serves as the content for his many books, including Designing Design, white, Xformation, and most recently, Neo-Prehistory, which was released just this year. Please join me in welcoming Kenya Hara.
Thank you very much for a nice introduction. Hello, everyone. I am Kenya Hara, a designer based on Tokyo. I'd like to enjoy today's talk today. And in the start of this century, I created many exhibitions. Redesign is an exhibition to show the essence of design. I think the essence of design is in the ordinary thing. And haptic is another exhibition to show that the human senses is very important resources for designing. And senseware is another exhibition. The senseware is defined that senseware is a very special medium that stimulates human creativity, like a stone of the Stone Age, and like a paper or printing age. In this exhibition, I introduced artificial fiber as a fantastic senseware to create new circumstances. And saddle is an exhibition to show up the very delicate feeling or senses that are cultivated by paper. And architecture for dogs is a very special one. I like dog, of course, but I'm not a dog lover. And this is the exhibition. It is not an exhibition for dogs. This is an exhibition for architecture. Architecture for something. Something is bracket. We can put anything in this bracket. The dog is the first theme I selected to put in this bracket, because the dog can be a very huge platform that anybody who live on Earth will know about dogs. That's the reason why I selected dog. So this is the exhibition I recently created. The Milano Triennale asked Andrea Branzi, a very fantastic maestro of architecture and of product design, and me. We created a very heavy exhibition. We selected 100 artifacts with 100 verbs. Verbs is a kind of the metaphor of human desire. The first artifact we selected was a stoneware of Stone Age. From stoneware age to today. So I look back. Okay. It is okay? Okay? Okay. So I look back the human history of desire. So through this exhibition, I'm aware that we are standing in a very special point just before the new phase of human history. This history will be knitted by the artificial intelligence. So, and I just to talk you, visualize and awaken is my method of designing. And I'd like to focus on 3 topics today. The first one is Xformation. And the second one is the Mooji, about the Mooji's concept. And the third one is House Vision. This is a special exhibition that I held in the summer in Tokyo. Okay, let's start with Xformation. So Xformation is a very special concept that I share with my student in Musashino Art University in Tokyo. In these 10 years, we are making research about using this concept. Xformation is a kind of the method of communication. So X is the opposite meaning of the information. Information is a method to make things known. But these days, there's too much information. So the people always saying, I know, I know. The people always saying twice time, I know, I know. But in the most case, the people don't know about the subject deeply. And to tell the worst, the people don't show their interest and curiosity about the fact they already know. So if we stimulate their interest interest, we should make them aware how little you know about things. Xformation is a method to make things unknown. So please see this picture. You already know about the plates and the balls. But if, like this picture, the plate and the ball makes a line gradually. And if you are asked to point the boundary between the plate and the ball, you will confuse. But this confuse is not mean the lacking of the recognition about the plates and the ball. The recognition how little we know is connected to a more productive intelligence and positive perceptions. Okay. Do you understand? Okay. So about the Xformation. So in these 10 years, we select the theme with a student for each year. For the first year, the theme was river. And second year, resort was the theme to be exformed. And the third year, wrinkles. And fourth year, plants, nudity, half done, woman, air, and pear, and Tokyo. And I selected that fourth theme today. Let's start with plants. All of these is a student work. So in the ordinary, everybody says you should take care about the plants because the plant is very weak existence. But in fact, the plant is very tough. It grows everywhere. So this is, of course, a very special expression. But you are aware, it looks like terrible. Plants grows everywhere. And this is another project. We eat plants, but there are some we can't eat. By seeing packed plants, so we get a very strange feeling about plants, refreshing our understanding about the edible plants. How do you think? This is another work. In the city side, the feeling of plants around us is not directly. So the existence of the plant is through their shadows reflecting on the architecture. This is a kind of the reality of plants in the city side. So, how do you think? This is another student work, photography. The plant is flat like a water. Plants grow constantly, welling up all around us, and like water flowing slowly through the smallest gap. Very terrible. So there is no way to stop it. There is no way to control the growing of plants. Interesting. And this student used peaking plants for the book design. And letter is peeking out, growing out from the edges of the books. Chinese letter is grown and grown up. This is very interesting. Peaking plants. And this is another work. But if we design produce like a daikon radish geometrically, it looks strange. So, but by seeing this figure, rhetorical figure, we understand deeply the natural shape of daikon radishes. How do you think? Okay, let's go to the second theme, nakedness or nudity. This is a doll. There are dolls whose bodies are deviant. We feel ashamed where we are naked. The reason we are embarrassed by our own nudity is because we each have some deviance. What? Outer belly button, hunchback, and too much muscular is a kind of the deviance. This is very fantastic project. The clothing things in shorts actualize their nudity. Even on the hammer, we can find out the body on things by putting the shorts on things. So we can see the very slim legs between the two bold blades of forks. Oh, even on the wrench. And you can very fantastic Venus-line body on the water appliance. Okay, a laundry clip sitting on the towel, very cute. And the amazing body of a green peppers. Very interesting. We can find out the body even in the small tomatoes and even on eggs. And this is another kind of nudity. This project strips the completion. This is a product just before the completion. This object helps the viewer envision the stage just prior to the product's completion. Very special viewpoint. So this isn't a true presentation of any actual process or processes. This is fake. but draws attention to the moment before completion, which is also recognized as a type of nudity. This is very easy to be understood. The shape of the bottom or crevice is applied to the variety of things. In this case, applied on the tile for the soaps. So marshmallow cakes and Japanese rice cake and building blocks and sugar and castanets. So, yes, nudity is a little bit exformed. Okay, next theme is woman. A student disguised herself as a variety of women. There's many kinds of women. These photographies realize that there has been such a variety of ways of being woman. These types are not out of the ordinary in today's world, even in Tokyo and in Seattle. We can see this type of woman everywhere. Every woman has all these diverse possibilities and choose one to live by. The one thing all women have in common is that they are of the gender that can give birth. This series of photographs make us feel this clearly, and in so doing, present a criticism, and that is more appropriate than one that might have been voiced in words. After the graduate at Art University, she is entered in my office and selected the art director. So many varieties. How do you think? This is another project. These are weapons wrapped in floral patterns. Real-scale Tomahawk cruise missile is wrapped in floral patterns. It looks very strange feeling. Real machine gun and bullets and hand grenades is wrapped in floral pattern. Of course, this is not anti-war message. What the floral pattern is, what the woman is. An image of an X-ray of a female body made of pressed dry flowers. Looks terrible, but beautiful. Terrible, but beautiful. I don't know why the woman and flowers are generally considered as connected. But here is a place from which the strange mystery of woman can be gleaned. Very beautiful, but terrible. This is stick figure. Stick figure has no sex and no age. But in this student, by putting the motion and putting the character on these stick figures, running. Rider. You can see the long-haired woman. So this is too much direct, like a hieroglyph. You can understand the mechanisms of birth directly. Oh. Play catch. Jump. Being photographed. So very interesting. Okay. This is another work. The figure of pet bottle is from the Venus figure of ancient age, the human body, and the oval body of Venus, and the beach volleyball athlete. Early modern age of Japan, anime character, and kid. This is strange work. Unsmiling, blank-faced woman looks very strange. So, if the nurse has this kind of the blank face, it looks very terrible. The salesperson working at the hamburger store, singer, and anchor woman for the TV child program. If he don't smile, hostess in nightclub, and cabin attendant. By seeing this picture, never-ending cheer is expected on the woman's face. Okay, last one is Tokyo. This student collecting the many kinds of faces and created the average face of Tokyo. Mixing 200 faces of young people in Tokyo and created this kind of masks and use it and take a photo. This looks strange, but so I realized the real feeling of Tokyo. And this is a very interesting wear, Tokyo camouflage. So by wearing this is a Shinjuku. This is a photo. If it is a movie, it is difficult to distinguish the person and the circumstances. Shinjuku and Asakusa, very local downtown. And Setagaya, the bed town of Tokyo. And this is Marunouchi, just in front of the central station of Tokyo. The pattern of building block, and the colorful one is from the color of the taxi. So this kind of the trial is a very fantastic criticism about the circumstances of Tokyo. Okay, you already well understood about the Xformation. make things unknown is a very fantastic method of communication. Being known is a kind of the consumption. We should avoid being consumed. So the make things unknown is a very important method to make the communication or make the advertising, I think. So the Xformation is become the books. The large mirror publisher is a very kind publisher. Large mirror allow me to create this kind of the small book. So if you have some interest, please see this book. And next is Muji. So I became the art director of Moji in 2002. The first art director, Ikko Tanaka, passed the baton of Muji to me. But Moji is already a very successful project. But Moji was started with 40 items in 1980. But when I get the baton of Moji, the number of items is more than 5,000. There is many stores just started to open in abroad. The basic situation is partially different. So I should think the way to explain the Mooji's essence or concept. So emptiness is a concept I founded for Mooji. So we should go back to the aesthetic or feeling in the ancient Japan. In the ancient age, the Japanese people think that wisdom is in nature. Wisdom in not the human side, wisdom in the nature side. And God is a symbol of nature. And God is flow with the window, and sometimes flow on the mountaintops, and sometimes God is sitting beside the field and beside the village, and sometimes in the bottom of the sea. God is ubiquitous. The Japanese people say, Yao Yorozu no Kami. This literally means the 8 million God is there everywhere. So when we pulled out the daikon radishes, the God is in the tip of the daikon radishes. And even in the rice, Japanese people believe that there is 7 gods in the piece of rice. God is everywhere, ubiquitous. But the nature is very fickle and delicate, so it's very difficult to make an appointment with God. So all Japanese people create this kind of the very interesting structure, curious structure. 4 pillars is constructed in square, and on the top is connected by the straw ropes. So there is nothing inside of the structure. This is emptiness. Emptiness has a possibility being filled. The God is everywhere. God can't fail to miss it. The ancient people thought God might come and enter. But there is no certainty there is God. God may enter. This may is very great significance. Only the possibility is very important. So when we put the roof on this emptiness, this created a center core of Japanese Shinto shrine. there is an emptiness. And this is another emptiness. It's a gate, two vertical posts and horizontal element. This is tori, the gates. The successive tori create a path from the entrance to the goal. And the center of the shrine, there is emptiness. Passing through the tori and reach just before the emptiness, the people pray and carry their mind inside this emptiness and getting something from this emptiness. So this is the basic structure of Japanese Shinto shrine. By using the emptiness as a creative receptacle, Japanese people can find a way to make a communication with the God, the nature power. So this is real Shinto shrine. The center core of Yashiro is empty. Okay, please remember emptiness as a creative receptacle. And at this point, I should explain the difference, the simplicity and emptiness. The simplicity is similar to empty, but I think that is partially different concept. Simplicity is founded about 150 years ago, I think. The world is started with decorative and flamboyant, so elaborate patterns. So that this is a bronzeware. So the surface, the bronzeware is covered with elaborate decorative patterns because the people who make a dominance should show the powers by using these tools. People feel wow, because so this kind of work needs many energy. So that this is the condensed of energy. So the Chinese people created this kind of very complicated pattern to show their power. And even in India. And in Islam, they create an abstract pattern to show the power of Islam. And even in the absolute monarchs of Europe, they create Baroque and Rococo styles to show the power of absolute monarchs. So the noble people using this kind of chair to show their power. But the revolution is happened. The age of king is concluded. The ordinary people become the leading part of the world. The basic situation has changed. The relationship between the material and function and form is partially changed. The simplicity is founded in this situation. So the rationality is very fantastic, I think. The modern design is founded in this situation. I, by myself, learn a lot from the modernism. But more than 300 years before the modernism, Japanese people always use this kind of very minimal tools. It is simple. I don't think this is simple. Another kind of minimalism, I think. Please see this map. The Japanese archipelago is in the eastern end of Eurasia plate. If we tilted Eurasia plate 90 degrees, the Eurasia plate is just like a pinball machine or pachinko machine. The ball is from the top, from the Rome and the Russia and the India and the China, and passing through the Korea. The many nuggets is So finally, go into the Japanese archipelago. So the Japanese people getting the great influence from all over the world. Because the world is crowded with decorative patterns. Japanese culture was decorative. But in the 15th century, very huge civil war has attacked Japan. And Kyoto was destroyed. And architecture and destroyed, the house is destroyed, picture was burned, and the kimono has damaged. So the shogun at that time was Yoshimasa Ashikaga. He has no ability to control this situation. He passed the post of shogun to his son and retired. But he was a connoisseur. He is a very fantastic, talented for the art scene. So he created this kind of study. So he always staying here, sometimes staying here. This is very plain, empty. So only the tatami mat is there. And the desktop, there is nothing. And on the desktop, there is a very small sliding, shoji sliding door. And when the door is opened, the fantastic garden appears. This space is what, as we think of as, that what we think of as the Japanese traditional style room. So, in this age, the garden becomes like this, empty garden. There is no decoration. But the people who visit this space carry their imagination into these spaces. So even in the picture, the empty space is more important than the drawn space. People can carry the fantastic imagination in the empty space. Gardening and ikebana, flower arrangement, and chanoyu, the tea ceremony, and the interior design. So the emptiness is moving in this art scene. So the Japanese people use this kind of emptiness to convey the fantastic imagination. So to talk about the chanoyu, the tea ceremony, tea room is very small and empty. There is no furniture. So because there is empty, we can carry various kind of imagination into this empty space. The equipment of tea ceremony is very limited. Only the hanging scroll and the flower arrangement is only the equipment to decorate this space. When we use a flat base and filled with water and spread the petals of cherry flower on the surface of the water, that kind of the settlement creates the imagination that the guest and host is sitting under the cherry tree in full bloom. This is only the illusion, but this is the tea room, because the tea room is an empty theater, they can carry many kinds of images on it. So, cherry tree, sometimes just beside the sea, only changing the small equipment, the imagination has changed very dynamic. That is a mechanism of tea ceremony. And about the Muji, there is a small tea bowl on the tatami mat. The tea bowl is Muji's product. This is a poster for Muji I created. The Muji's aesthetic is deeply connected to the essence of emptiness, I think. The Muji's product looks like simple, but it's a kind of differ from the simplicity, I think. Muji's product is freely for the user. There is no special usage. This is a mattress with stands. Some people use this for the bed. Some people use as a sofa. And some people create a floor by combining all these mattresses. So this looks very simple, but the Muji don't create a very special simple table for young people and not create another simple table for the matured people. The Muji only create this kind of table, and this table fits any context of the living. This fits. The user can use this table as you like. This is a very important point. So Muji should recognize that the Muji is empty. So Muji can aware the direction they should go. So this shelf has no shape. Only the empty function is there. And Muji's package and tag and label is controls of the empty. And we already keep the distance from the trends. Trends is always changing, but we keep some special distance from the trends. And I designed all kind of the tag and label system for Muji. This is a knife. This is a symbol of simplicity, I think. Very fantastic knife. I always use this knife in my kitchen. When I grip it, the position of thumb is naturally decided. A good function. But this is empty. The grip is very plain. You can grip it from any angle. But this plain grip receives a very fantastic technique of the Japanese chef. And this is a symbol of simplicity. And this is a symbol of emptiness. So this is a poster I made for Muji. There is no messages. Some people images that Muji is ecology friendly, and some people think the price of Muji is not so much. Some people, Muji is no design. Some people think Muji is realizing the sort of Zen. Okay, we'll receive anything. So Muji don't say anything. Only we can do is make eye contact with the audience. That is very important. Muji should be the creative receptacle. Brand is always talkative. This is Muji. And Muji started from the 40 items. The idea was very fantastic. Basic concept is not changed, never changed. But number of articles becoming more and more. Today, more than 7,000 items. So the Muji should be the background of living. Muji should be the OS, operation system of living. So Muji has a very fantastic module system for the storage. So by using this module, one spoon is connected to the house directly. So that is Moji. And when I think in the futuristic situation of Moji, I found the importance of house itself. And the topic is moved to the house vision. In these 70 years, world after two, world war. So the Japanese people always living in the same typical type of houses. The only thing they can do is buying the completed house. That is boring. So if the Japanese people can create some images, the lifestyles, the life circumstances that fits their lifestyles, the basic situation of marketing will be changed, combining the high technology and the aesthetic. So the role of designer is just changing. In the condition that the economy is getting better and better, the role of designer is to create a fantastic form and shape for the products, or with fantastic imagination for the brands. But in the condition of economy is not so good, the role of designer is to visualize the possibility of new industry. That's very important. The house is not only the housing industry. House is a very important crossing point of many industries. So the energy industry, to create the energy and keep energy and circulating energy. House is very important. And the evolution of mobility, the personal mobility's condition or the automatically mobility will change the basic situation of housing. The house and the mobility has a very deep relationship. And today's Japanese high-tech maker is stopped creating the refrigerator, the TV player, because all the smart appliances combining together and creating the houses. So this is a very important point. And the people has a very high literacy to use this kind of appliances. And we can find a very fantastic market in Japan today's situation. The older people, the 50-year-old, 60 years old, 70 years old people has the money in the bank. If they want to create the final home, so to face their fantastic living, we can create a very fantastic field. How do you think? And we can use the traditional aesthetic as a resource for the futuristic situation. And the reason why I create exhibition, real scale model house has a very great influence, not only for the special people, the architect or product designer, but also the ordinary people. I always thinking the designing is a kind of the education of desire. If the designing have a great influence for the basic situation of the desire, the world and the city can be changed. And this is the first imagination of my exhibition. If I create this kind of bridges and connected the exhibit house, this can be an exhibition. So, and I created the first house vision exhibition 3 years ago. But there are only 7 exhibit houses there. And I produced a second house exhibition, the house vision exhibition. in this year. In this August, so I created a second one. This is the site of the exhibition. The scale is just like the baseball field. So they're combining with the talented architects and company. So the couple of the architect and the company should create a very unique house that unseen yet. That is the rule. So we created a 12th exhibit house this year. The site is like this. Many people has come. And this is the entrance of the exhibition. The wood block are used for the basic structure. The Kengo Kumar, the architect, create this kind of space by using the timber. So all the blocks are to be reused partially after the exhibition. This timber yard can be a bookstore, and many ordinary people has come. This is the opening reception, very crowded. And this space can be an auditorium. And Joe Gebbia, Airbnb joined this project and collaborated with Go Hasegawa, the young talented architect. And Shigeru Ban has come for the opening ceremony and saying "Kanpai" at the opening. And we are very happy. And this is the opening ceremony of the house vision and opened. Okay, I introduced some exhibit house here. Yamato Holdings is a company who controls the circulating system. So the circulating things. And Fumie Shibata is a product designer. This Yamato Holdings and Fumie Shibata has collaborated to create a house. So if the doors of the refrigerator could be opened from outside, what kind of situation will be found? So the Yamato Holdings always creating the very fantastic circulating system of things. One person is always settled within 5 or 10 minutes walking distance. This system is always completed in Japan. So if we created this kind of system, a fingerprint authentication system will do a great contribution for this system, I think. How do you think? Fresh vegetable, laundry service is available by using this system. So if getting the life log through this system, the service for daily life will be changed. This is outside, this is inside. How do you think? A worker who lives alone has no time for receiving a delivery service. And if the delivery could be avoided, the delivery cost will be much improved. The circulating things have a very fantastic possibility to change the world. Okay, what the house really is. Next one, Airbnb and Go Hasegawa, the young architect, collaborated to create a Shida house. Shida is the name of the tree. This is a very strange shaped house. And Yoshino town in Nara prefecture is famous of the very fantastic Shida tree. There is So the history to treat the tree timber. And even today, the Yoshinoshida is very famous for its quality. By using this cedar, Go Hasegawa created this kind of houses. So in the first floor is open for the people who live in these villages. Mother can take their children and make the children play around this space, and all people can use this space for drinking tea. This space is partially open for the village people. And the second floor, there is a space for stay. Airbnb control this space for staying. So by using this house, the people who live in the small town make a connection with the tourist directly. This is not the hotel. It is not the house. This is. So after the house vision exhibition, this house is carried to the Yoshino villages by using truck. And it is just constructing this house in this place. And in the end of the November, this house is moved partially to Yoshino villages. This is only the beginning, but this is telling me the way to make a communication between the tourists and the village people, local village people. And this is another project. Panasonic, the high-tech alliance company, collaborated with Yuko Nagayama, the talented architect. The Nagayama, Yuko, created this kind of very strange shaped house. Spiral house. This curved wall is a receptacle of IoT, Internet of Things. So the visitor gets the information from the number that is printed on the wall. Please show this video.
今ではない、いつか。ここではない、どこか。IoT が当たり前の存在になると、家はその意味を変えるかもしれません。
If the IoT service becomes more popular, the house
ようこそ
changes the meaning
IoT ハウスへ。
naturally.
さあ、ある日どこかの私たちの暮らしを想像してみましょう。スタジアムが家にある。クローゼットがない家。お出かけの服は何にする？
Because this video is produced by Panasonic, so it looks too much commercial, but you already understood the basic concept of this house. So the curved wall is a receptacle of every kind of the IoT service. And there is in the center core, there is a bath and kitchen, and in the second floor there is a bedroom, study. Okay, Muji and Atelier Bao, the architect group, collaborate to create a terrace office Tanada Terrace, the countryside office. The outlooking of the house is looks old, but it is very fantastic, I think. So the first floor is for doing some work and storage. And the second floor should be the office. People is in the office space. This is office space. Today there are people who work for the IT section can work only using the laptop computer. So they can work in these circumstances. So Muji is going to put this kind of Tanada Terrace office in the countryside. And Muji start to make an intercourse with this kind of the country space. And the time of the life planting and its harvest, Muji gathers ordinary people and help them. Because the farmer becomes old, and it's very difficult to take care of this terrace. So the warehouse of rice seeds become a good reference. And so material of the terrace office is familiar to the farmer. It's a farmer's bricolage. The most advanced office is like this, I think. And Isetan Mitsukoshi, the famous department store, has collaborated with Makoto Tanijiri and Ai Yoshida, the young architect. They produced a house for the new nomad people. New nomad people is the people who always traveling. So they spend only 2 weeks in Tokyo and move to Beijing and move to Singapore and in Seattle, always moving. So the people don't live with their family. They use this house to enjoy the Tokyo-style living. And roof and floors are inside of the room. And it is very easy to have a party to gather their friends and the clients inside this space. How do you think? And Daito Trust Construction collaborated So Fujimoto. Daito Trust is a company who creates a rental house. This is an exhibit house. So please show the left picture. The red space is a personal space. If the private space becomes smaller, we can share more rich public spaces. The right one is Fujimoto's idea. There is a very rich space for the public. Just like a small town, rental house being opened to outside. This is a model. So Fujimoto created many numbers models and finally found out this style is. If the personal space becomes more smaller, we can get more rich space for kitchen and bathroom and library. And combining together, so Fujimoto created this kind of rental house. And the Rixu is a company to create a kitchen and bathroom and toilet, collaborate with Shigeru Ban, and create this kind of houses. Please see this video. The way of constructing It's very strange. So outside skin is finished by zipper. So windows opened very widely. And the space of the house can be changed. And this is very important point. The pipe or duct of air and water and the lead of the electric line is combined together and perfectly divided from the architecture. So we can move the center core freely. We can move the life core freely. This is very fantastic way of housing system. This house is very cheap, low-cost housing. So the ordinary people can make a plan of housing like a TV game. And the shape and type of the center core, life core could be changed freely. And we can select the type of the window. Okay, this is the house that is collaboration with Lixil and Shigeru Ban. The life core can be changed really. How do you think? Okay, there's some many exhibit house there. This is a printed house. This is not a real wood, of course, but printing technology becomes more fantastic. We can create this kind of the fake wood house, but it looks almost real. The inside is more real. The texture is partially realized. So that there is many scale of timber, but it's like labyrinth of wood. But all the material is artificial. So all the artificial material is very familiar with high technology. So the inside this material, there's many sensors and lights and many facilities. And by using this system, the house can be create a very fantastic intercourse or interaction with a human body inside this house. This house is very unique. In this house, the window have a depth. So window have a depth. So inside the window, there is very strange spaces. This is a bathroom, and this is a kitchen inside the window. Looks strange, but this architect creates a new vocabulary of architecture. Okay, this is a tea house that is built inside the House Vision exhibition. So this is a night view. Okay. So I already said, visualize and awaken becomes a very important role of design these days. Today, I will focus on 3 topics: Xformation, emptiness of Mooji, and house vision. So the method of my design is visualize and awaken. So please remember. Okay. I'd like to conclude my presentation today. Thank you very much for hearing. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Molly Dursey. I'm another member of Civilization. So joining Kenya on stage now is Fumi Watanabe James, who is a designer here in Seattle. She has been working with Starbucks for the last 15 years, most recently as the creative manager. But I have sad news for Seattle. Her and her family are moving to New York City next month, where she has just accepted a position as the Director of Global Beverages at PepsiCo Design Center. So congratulations, Fumi.
Hello. So, Mr. Hara, I'm always inspired by your work to push the designer to redefine what it means to be designer and to propose the vision for the future for the society and industry. And I thought that it was really great that to see all your whole, range of work. That it's just been inspiring to me and many of us as designers. Since we have a really quick time today, we have 3 questions. From Twitter, Mr. Kenya, I can translate for you as well if you need. What brand that originated in the Northwest intrigued you the most, and why? Maxon House. ノースウェストというのは、シアトルの地域なんですけど、シアトル、ポートランド、バンクーバーのエリアから始まったブランドで、ではどういうブランドが一番インスパイリング、今面白い感じだと思われますか
Northwest America is a very inspiring place. The Amazon, and Microsoft, and the Starbucks, and established in this area, from this area. So I think through the exhibition of the neo-prehistoria, so I aware that we are just standing just before the new phase of human history that will be created by the artificial intelligence. So I'm very interested in what kind of service should be created by using the artificial intelligence. The Southwest area has a very huge possibility to change the world. So I'm expecting the very strange brand, very strange service will be founded from this area. Yeah.
Great, thank you. The next question. How do you respond to clients that insist on making their logo bigger? SNCRBRN。クライアントにロゴを大きくしてくれと言われることありませんか？そうよく言われるというのが、デザイナーとしてのジョークなんですけれども、どういうふうにそれにリスポンドしたらいいのでしょうか？アドバイスありますか
？So most of my clients didn't ask me to make the logo more bigger. But of course, I always face to the real marketing, so every day. So there are one third of my work is about to create the exhibition and about the trial project, but 2/3 of my project is very real, of course. So we are always to create a very fantastic result of marketing. Yeah, it's always struggling.
So you do face the real life challenges, but maybe not making a logo bigger.
I'm always thinking the suitable the size of logo for the client. So, okay.
Understand. All right. The next question. Mr. Hara, why did you create architecture for dogs? Byron.
So I always say that I'm very interested in the architecture project, but I'm not the architect. But I have interested in to use the talent of architect. So I'm running the project for the architecture for something. The something is in the bracket. The dog is a first trial. So the reason why I selected the dog is a very huge popularity and huge possibilities. So I imagine the second one is kind of the architecture for sound or architecture for sleeping, architecture for bicycle, architecture for swimming. So we can imagine the very unique architecture by thinking, using this structure. A dog is the first trial, but the dog project is never ending. If we can find out a very fantastic dog houses, so we can, the site of architecture or dogs become more activate. We are just waiting for the new situation of architecture for dogs.
It was very interesting. If you are curious about the work, there's